Hi, Ron Gagliardi here for Rendezvous. You may notice that the set is a little bit different today, and also my position is somewhat different today. It's an approximation of the fern-filled forests of St. Martin, an island in the Caribbean I've recently returned from. And we're about to start a 5 or 6 or maybe even 7-week series on the adventures of an expeditionary force that went down to St. Martin to teach some of the people there, mostly teenagers, wonderful things like art and cartooning and music and the ways of life. And this is my attempt to return to those days of yesteryear when I was out relaxing in St. Martin. And that's something that I always found difficult to do. But the island attitude really encourages a state of relaxation. But now I'm back in the state of Connecticut. And have to return to the days of work and creative endeavor. And the first thing I'm attending to is getting this series of shows done. Those of you who like St. Martin may want to continue watching the show for the next few weeks, or if you've ever been there or are planning to go there, it might be a good idea to continue tuning in. If you've been a member of the Prime Time for Teens crew, which actually went down there, of course you'll be riveted to your set every week to see if you'll be on. And if you belong to a church that has any thoughts of doing any missionary work, this might be a good show to watch. Especially the first one. The first one will deal with the cast of characters who went down there and what was being planned and some of the preparations that were necessary to get this thing off the ground. First of all, this is going to be kind of stream of consciousness here because it's so close to my consciousness, it's kind of streaming out anyway. I was approached by a young lady whose name is Claudia Schaffer. And Claudia is a very famous artist in the area of pastels and painting. As a matter of fact, she belongs to the prestigious Salamagundo Society. Hope I pronounced that right. It's a group in New York, or based in New York, that invites various artists of well-knownness to join them. Anyway, Claudia was putting together a team of people to go down to St. Martin to help the youth there to learn some of the finer points of life. My voice needs adjustment. My mouth needs work. Anyway, I was chosen to teach cartooning and also to do some videotaping of the group, which obviously you'll get to see. I was originally supposed to teach some video to some of the folks down there, but that fell through. And other members of the crew were supposed to teach dance and fine arts and voice and music composition and regular rhythm type music and drumming and a couple other things. Some of the people were unable to go down, and if any of you are watching, we really missed you, and sorry you couldn't make it because it was a great experience. And some of the folks were actually chosen and did actually get to go down there, and it was an amazing experience. So, anyway, I would like to introduce you to the Prime Time for Teens group. Now you may notice that this t-shirt has a logo over here, and this logo was designed by a gentleman named Al Wallace who lives in Wallingford. He's a music teacher there, and he also belongs to the church that was primarily responsible for getting all this together, and that is the Christ Community Church of Cheshire. So he designed this logo, and we had some t-shirts made. This was our official uniform. He also did some great woodworking. This symbol he made into a wooden little sculpture about this high, which we gave to our host homes when we were down there. Most of us actually stayed with the natives, and if you've never had the opportunity to experience a different culture, don't go stay in a hotel. The native experience is much better. And we really enjoyed it, and the native people to whom we gave these sculptures really were pleased with them. So join us now as we go back in time to the organizational meetings for the Prime Time for Teen group. And you'll see the cast of characters and hear about them and find out what we were actually going to do in a little more depth than I went into just now. Toodles.
I've been going to St. Martin with Mark for about 10 years now, and spending that kind of time there, we got to be very friendly with the natives and with the people who live there full time, and got very close to some of the children there, and quickly realized that in order to have the extra things that we just take for granted, like education and art and music and just individual attention and different counseling for problems, they didn't have those things there. And many of the children on the island don't get an opportunity to receive an education past high school unless the government chooses them to receive an education. And that includes any kind of education, whether it be a specialized education in carpentry or hairdressing or going to a college for art or music. And they're pretty much left on their own. They have problems there just like we do here with single-parent families, families who were never married to begin with and have lots of surrogate brothers and sisters and stepbrothers and sisters. A lot of abandoned children there that women have taken over and raised. And the Caribbean culture is much different there than ours is here. But the love for God, the love for art, and the love for music is there. And this past year, I decided to work with some kids in art in the school system. And I was lucky enough to work along with a woman who runs the best elementary school on the island. When I was there in October and November, I brought with me another artist, Ellie Bender, who is also going to be here tonight. And Ellie and I put together an art program for a month. We were able to bring children to such a point with their art that the mayor's wife, who is Mrs. Fleming, brought me to her office, and she said, what about having an art and music school here during the summer? And I said, well, gee, that sounds wonderful. And I always bite off more than I can chew. So I said, well, gee, if I could get the people that are gifted musically and get some other people who are gifted artistically, I can also find those people who may have a big heart and are willing to donate their time to give of themselves in their particular talent. And this is why you have all been asked here tonight, and this is why this is all really happening. We're going to be connected with a church called Acts 29 down in St. Martin, and it's a church that Mark and I go to when we're there. And the pastor is a very young, dynamic pastor, and he's talked with Joel several times, and I think that he's going to be very thrilled to have us as a group there joining together with his church and the goings-on that will happen.
Most of the class will take place in the morning, and the way the music will work is that we want to teach them and coordinate choirs, groups to sing songs. But in addition to that, we want to have Bible stories or crafts, activities where the kids, children are involved in active learning. So the morning part is very similar to what we do in a Vacation Bible School program here. The other side of that with the teens and I will be working on also is to do outreaches with teenagers, usually in the evenings or afternoons, picnics, building relationships with them, inviting them to these events where they will have a forum to discuss issues that are relevant to them. And we will try to introduce spiritual answers to the issues that they face. The kids from our group will be sharing what God means to them in their lives, and that's the thrust of the youth outreach, really, is to share Christ with them, to see how Christ can be a relevant part of their lives. My name is Joel. Sure, again, I think most of you know me, but what I wanted to do tonight is to a few things, and to start off. One is to begin to develop a sense of teamwork, and we'll do that by, one, getting to know each other a little better, two, by looking at some benefits, some things that you will benefit from being in this experience together, and thirdly, from trying to get an idea of a vision statement for the team. And what a vision statement is, or a vision team purpose or team vision statement, is in one sentence what we want to accomplish together. How to resolve conflicts that we will be facing as a team as we live together in a different culture, what that will be like, and we'll be setting up some goals, both personal and as a team, that we want to accomplish when we're down there. So that's the purpose of these meetings, to develop a sense of unity as a team, to get an understanding of vision of why we're going, and also to set up some goals for what we want to accomplish while we're down there. Okay, the first thing I'd like you to do is, in terms of getting to know one another, is to find one other person who has their birthday the closest to yours. Okay, so you will pair up, and you will find someone whose birthday is closest to yours. And then, once you find that person, you have to get to know enough about them where you can introduce them, and they can introduce you.
7 days apart.
They can't be together.
Now, wait a second, you guys. They might need this.
Okay, go ahead and find someone whose birthday.
May 20th.
May, January.
October.
We want to remember the birthday of the person whose birthday was happening was there. Does anyone else? Does anyone else have a birthday?
Everyone forget.
2 days after we leave.
Mine is a week before.
The week before doesn't count.
You said a few days after.
Okay. 20 seconds each. We'll start here. We'll go around the room this way. And 20 seconds each to introduce the person that you just met. So try to pay attention to this because we'll be spending 2 weeks together and you want to know a little bit about each other. 20 seconds. Can I watch the second?
Copies of the videotape will be available in case you want to study. You know.
Thank you, Ron. Go, Sandra.
Okay, this is Joel Shirk. He's the youth minister here at Christ Community Church. He's been married almost 10 years to Jackie, has 3 kids, a daughter and 2 sons, and he loves to play soccer.
14 seconds.
Oh, more time. What else?
This is Sandra
Sandra, what?
Field. She plays the piano and sings very well. She is married to Rich down the other end, has 2 blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys. She is currently unemployed, most recently laid off from her work, which is now she's homebound and just doesn't know what to do with herself. She loves to read. Time's up. Thank you, Judy.
What I want to know is, how do you know she's such a good singer? Did she tell you?
No, I didn't say everything.
Pre-knowledge,
Go
pre-knowledge.
ahead.
This is Kim Haskell. She works with landscaping with her brother. I grew up with her. I've known her practically all my life. She's Sandra's sister.
My nephew.
This the auntie of these 2 little boys. That's about it. And what?
You have to talk full 20 seconds.
I can.
You have to.
You have to?
Oh, that was maximum. You didn't say that.
Time's up.
You
Go
didn't say
ahead.
that.
This is Robin. And she's single. She works as an underwriter for an insurance company. She's got a sister and 2 sisters and a brother. And I grew up with her.
She's lived in Cheshire all
She
her
lives in Cheshire all her life. She likes to pastor in church. She likes to sing. She sings very well.
Time's up.
Yes.
Okay, go.
Okay, this is Judy Wallace. Judy is a member of my cell group. She's a real close friend. Judy is married to Al Wallace. Judy is very interested in all church activities and Vacation Bible School. She has a lot of experience with. She has 2 sons, both in college, who are really great sons. And
That's all.
Okay.
Time's up.
Your turn.
This is Chloe Coe Schaefer, a friend of mine, and is also a nationally known artist who's recently won the Academic Award in Springfield, Massachusetts, with her painting, and Pastelist of the Year also. She's been very instrumental in organizing our trip to St. Martin, because she's been there within the last 10 years, has been there several times, and has grown to know and love the people, and I'm 24 seconds, okay.
Boys on the end.
I don't know what's going on. I just walked in. Pass. Killa, Nando, what's happening?
Oh, Gizmo.
Okay, this is Rich Field, and he works for the telephone company. And I'm not quite sure what he does on the I should know. But anyway, he's one of his pet projects is fixing up his home.
The stoop.
Completely redecorating. He said someday I'm going to get the stoop done. Yes. I didn't even ask him what he was going to do. He said yes, that's what I'm going to do. And then he's also doing a lot of redecorating inside, and he's going down to St. Martin to babysit. Bringing him to be with his wife during his vacation instead of being home.
I've known Al Walsh quite a while. He was a ranger in Stockades together with myself for a few years. He's a music teacher at Lyman Hall High School in Wallingford. He just went on a marathon trip down to Florida where he didn't get much sleep, and with a bunch of the band. And I've known him while he was in the church choir as well as choir director.
Betsy and Renee are not allowed to look at their hands. Do you see their hands?
That's like in high school.
Okay.
We're not good for each other.
I'm making mental notes of all of this.
Do not pair Renee and...
Go.
All we do is laugh and get together. We can't even... I know you guys are living together. Oh, brother. Here we go.
This is Renee Freitas, and she's married to Adam, and I've known them about three and a half years. They've been married about 6 years. She loves kids. She's a cell leader. She's a great cake decorator, and she loves the Lord dearly, and she's a good servant.
And that's
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why did we throw
You only need to use half your hand now.
Go.
This is Betsy Hendricks. She's been married to Skip 27 years and has beautiful children. Loves the Lord and loves people. She works with Forever Ministries with the AIDS House and is looking forward to this trip.
Yeah.
Time.
Okay. This is
I didn't say
Ellie.
anything that was on here.
This is Ellie, and she is she's the other artist that's going on the trip. She is married and has been for, quote, a long time, end quote. And 6 kids, 12 grandchildren. She got her start in professional art by being a commercial industrial artist. And after doing that for 30 years, she became a portrait artist.
That's it.
It's my time.
This is Craig, and he is married to this lady down here, and I didn't get your name. Nancy, and they have a 2-year-old son. He's been married for 10 years. He works for the town of Cheshire as a youth services organizer.
Yeah, that's good.
Helping kids stay out of trouble. And, okay.
This is Georgette Bisson. I hadn't seen her in 44 years until this very evening. She went to Ithaca College, took a year off because she lacked direction, found direction, is now going to 2-lane. I told her she should have gone to 4-lane because she'd get through faster. And she's going to study literature, and she'll be well written.
All right.
Right?
I just want to get your last name. This is
It's a vowel movement.
He has never been on a plane, which everyone knows by now. He's looking forward to the St. Martin trip. The furthest he's ever been has been to Florida, driving. But he is, by profession, an art teacher at 2 elementary schools in Wallingford. And he will be working with cartooning and video artistry. Is that right?
Well, I will be videotaping. We're not going to teach video. Well done.
Okay, this is Nancy Turner. She's married to Craig over there. They have a son, who I babysit for. She went to Gordon College, studied music. Now she teaches piano lessons part-time. And also she's lived in every state in New Zealand except for Vermont.
Wow. This is Barry, spelled I-E, Jackson. She is an only child. Her dad is getting remarried the first weekend in June. She and her boyfriend are driving to Plymouth, Massachusetts for the wedding. She's a senior at Cheshire High School. She's going to Bentley next year. She's going to major in some sort of business, and she plays field hockey, and she's a great babysitter. She works at Pizza Hut and everybody's.
Good.
You got 5 more seconds.
Time.
Okay, Adam, please, you have 20 seconds to tell us all the salient information important information about yourself.
There's not really much to tell.
20 seconds.
Married to Renee. I have 3 kids. Play drums for the church and host a cell group at our house on Thursday nights. And just became a member of the church. That's about it.
Time up.
My job. I don't know what my job is. I'm still trying to figure that out too.
Kids.
I'll go for
You
it.
have 2 brothers, a mother that's an artist. Fill in the blanks.
Okay.
That's it.
That's a good exercise. It's useful in 2 ways. We get to know each other, but when you're down in St. Martin's, because we will be living with host homes, you will have the opportunity and the need to get to know the people you're staying with. So although some of you new people, the experience of meeting someone that you've never met before and trying to find out about them will be a skill that we all will need to use.
Hi, Ron. How you doing?
I'm fine. How's my knuckles?
Knuckles are a little white, That's bad.
So, Robin.
Yes.
You spent 4 delicious hours with me in the air.
Yup.
Uh-oh, it looks like we're right over the wing.
Yep.
So we'll hear all the ailerons and brakings and noises and all that good stuff. It's me. Here I am in my seat. Help him in focus.
16A.
Seat 16A, yes indeed. Right over the wing.
First plane trip.
See the knuckles? Not white yet. Beads of sweat though. Must be sitting next to Robin Bubar that's doing this. Perhaps it's the 105-degree temperature in the cabin though. We never know about these things. Well, signing off for now. This is so stupid.
Barry Solomona of Crush Berry.
Oh, she can save her batteries. You're going to have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order so that we may leave for an on-time departure, passengers who purchase duty-free items. If you are returning to New York, you can pick up the duty-free items here. If you are not returning and you purchase duty-free items, please give your name to one of the flight attendants and we'll take care of it on the other end. Thank you.
But I need my name. I can't give it to her.
That the no smoking sign is on. It is a federal requirement to comply with the no smoking sign, as well as other instructional signs. Federal law also prohibits tampering with smoke detectors in airplane lavatories. And now, please fasten your seatbelt. Slip the metal fitting into the buckle. Then pull on the loose end of the strap to tighten.
Passing is permitted, rows B in first class, rows 32 through 37 in the main cabin. Smoking is not permitted in the aisles or the lavatories, not a cigar nor pipe smoking is allowed. The captain does have the fasten seatbelt sign on. We ask that you please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened for the safety of the passengers around you and yourself. Thank you. Bring your seat backs and tray tables to their original upright position. Flight attendants will be in the cabin to pick up any last-minute service items. We should be on the ground shortly. Thank you.